All right, if you were to be stuck on Miramar with one player from any PUBG team, who would it be?
Oh, Caden.
Why is that?
Oh, wait, on Miramar in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind, not Caden. Not Caden at all. Probably Hypoc.
Why?
I think he would be able to keep me alive.
Jaden,
Why?
because he has the potential. He knows how to aim, basically.
Oh man, Moody, my brown brother.
Would the answer be the same for you?
Yeah, probably.
With his yellow brother.
Yeah, with my yellow brother.
Yeah, with his yellow.
I don't know if we can post this live.
Have to beat one.
No. Just you and one other player on PUBG and like Miramar together.
Another team.
Any team.
Okay, I'll take Jassa.
Why?
He's a nice guy.
Kramer.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. He's just a bit of an idiot, like. And Miramar's very boring, and he's kind of funny, so it would make it more amusing. So yeah, that's really it.
So Fuzzface said you though.
Yeah, well, I'd like them both, so I would. So.
Yempty. He's funny. He's a really good guy. We seem to click, and he's always saying hi to me. So I'd like to be stuck with someone friendly.
Any NA player.
Why? Why not you?
Because they practice the map, they know the map, so I take an NA player.
Can you get me home? Or will you lead me to another place before I overload? Back into the mess of all our broken ways. Give me a signal.
All right, everybody, this is it. It's time for our final match here at the GLL PUBG Season 1 Grand Finals. It all started off with thousands of teams that tried to qualify, and they were whittled down to 16, 8 from NA and 8 from EU. And right now, only about 5 of them have a realistic chance of winning, but it's a very slim chance because there is a titan at the very top called Na'Vi that is currently reigning supreme. I'm Parla, your desk host. I'm joined by my 2 analysts, Andy and Natu, and we'll talk a bit briefly before we get into that final match.
First of all, I want to point out, I'm very disappointed. We're in the last game, and I've not heard our producer in my area once talking sweet words.
Who's that?
Nicholas, our producer.
The main man, the man up top.
The god in this production.
Yes.
But on that bombshell, Andy has a really good point that he needs to make about.
Yes, Andy,
about
you were
this game.
talking to us at length in the break, so go ahead and tell everybody at home what you were telling to
No,
us.
I was talking about the
Don't steal your thunder.
all the top 5 people right now that's fighting. Basically, they're all fighting for the win. Every single one of the top 5, other than Navi, of course, they hope that Navi dies under top 10. Because they will basically, that means that Navi gets only like 10 or 5 points, depending on the kills. Probably you will not have much kills if you die so early. And that means that every single one of those top 5 teams have a chance to, go on top of Navi. And as basically one of my friends and the teammates, not my teammates, but TSM APR pointed out and backed me up in that point that if basically the team would have a manager and analyzer who actually watched those VODs, it would be a proper tactic to check the rotation spots, do they match out, and actually camp them out in the rotation.
To try and cut people off and get them out early.
Yeah, because basically that is the way you can win in this point. You don't want to let Navi go too far. Not even, basically in top 10, it's going to be hard to win Navi at this point. So basically cutting out Navi or actually getting lucky that Navi dies early would mean that there's 4 other teams that can fight for just, with a decent amount of kills for the chicken dinner and actually get the trophy home.
Natu, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, it's a thin line between, trying to anti-strat or trying to, find those kind of loopholes versus screwing your whole game in the big picture, right? If you start adapting, kind of changing things in your game too much. in accordance to what a specific team is maybe going to do, then that can really put yourself in a weird spot in the actual game, and then you might be jeopardizing the fact that you would still be in the top 3 in the tournament. But I would definitely be tempted to play with the idea of kind of touching it a little bit and see if the rotations do align. I mean, why not?
Indeed, there are certainly opportunities
200
to
IQ.
exploit. We've seen 15 matches so far. This is the final 16th match, and we're going to throw it over to Toby and Moses, who will be casting us all the way through. Guys, what is about to happen?
Na'Vi lose straight out, and they get their second position.
Wow.
The Ghost once again. Is this going to happen?
Yeah, it's possible.
And am I the one that gets to have his prediction right?
I mean,
The prophecy is here.
It's going to be tough, but I can't wait to see exactly what could happen. There are so many random things that could go against Na'Vi, and I don't know if they will be exploited or not.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on who wants to get, brave. I mean,
Let's do it, guys. Let's change the meta. Come on.
It's called 200 IQ plays, boys.
Yeah,
you don't know. You don't play that much.
There's a
Sorry.
million different variables, but ultimately, it really depends, like who is willing to break the manners meta, if you will. Like who is ready to maybe go for a hot drop or something like that. It's possible.
Manners. How does manners have anything to do with competitive?
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Like that this is an unwritten thing in PUBG, and I think you guys, as professional as you are, new to the scene, it's seen as bad manners to hot drop. Exactly. Where it's a gentleman's agreement where hot dropping is seen as like the preeminent crime that is completely looked down upon.
We need teams that are ready to bring
I
the
agree.
biff.
Exactly.
The biff needs to come.
I feel like
Money is on the line.
Me and Toby have just got
Bring
closer
the wall.
and closer mentally.
Moses, you need to stop talking to Scoom.
Is a Scoom like the hot drop as well?
Yeah, so Moses has made a great point that I wasn't aware of, that it's seen as like ungentlemanly or against the manners of PUBG to do so. But, when
Those have never worked.
When the lion's share of $50,000 on the line, maybe some people will start rubbing their hands together, whispering.
All of a sudden, Cloud9 goes for the drop, and they're left out of all scrim practices for the next however many months. What are you really putting on the line
Exactly. If we're bringing Scoom into it, we don't want to get anyone kicked out of the Discord.
Right.
Which is,
Anything
it's
that goes by the rules of the game.
If I could say one thing.
allowed.
Quickly,
Go, Andy. Go.
Quickly, one thing. Depending the way of the hot drop, there's a way that you can fuck yourself over and the other team over if the fight extends too much. So basically, it's basically your own skill. If you don't have skill for fight that kind of tactic, don't do it. Then you fuck yourself over and someone else.
All right,
Fair
well,
enough.
we are about to see who's going to come off worse. Toby and Moses. This is it, the 16th and final match.
You're going to come off worse than me out of this? I don't know. That's English, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the game. We have a straight vertical plane. I'm just with him. So, yeah, we don't go to horizontal this time around. We look for divine intervention to see if somebody can topple Na'Vi off that #1 position. The eyes will be on them from the very beginning, so keep your eyes fixed, Moses. It looks like they're in that middle jump along with Kingwin.
No doubt.
See just how far they want to come down.
It's going to be an interesting. This is a very different playing path than what we've seen the last couple of games, and we will now see an even cut down the center going north to south. Crimson is going to get off on their own, and now we will look. Is there anybody dropping with Na'Vi? Is there anything going to happen? Shoot to kill is there.
How far did Na'Vi want to go? Shoot to kill actually moving really quickly that they'll reach Chewy before Na'Vi will even get close to it. But if Na'Vi have pulled early and they want to go all the way to where they've normally gone in the southwest, it's Valademar. That's where they'll end up.
I hear you. So now it's a matter of STK is going to hit the ground first, and looks like Crimson did not find any vehicles
there's
so far.
a party bus. There's a party bus at the top of that hill.
Yeah, right. It was blended. I thought it was another street sign. It's like the same color.
Why did it look like a pile of junk on the side of the road?
Yeah,
Wait, no, that's a buggy. Wait, it's still a pile of junk.
No doubt. So as far as Na'Vi is concerned, they are going to stay in the air probably a little bit longer, likely pull the chutes late, trying to survey, make sure that no one's landing with them, and they will get the initial circle.
It's the southwest circle.
So we've seen one or two of these in the past. So no, there will be no immediate attack on Na'Vi. It's going to be smooth floating, at least for now, as they try and sort out their loot spot. But all that time in the air is going to let everyone know exactly where they're landing. I don't think we're going to see any aggressive moves coming towards them at the outset, but the Knights, FaZe, and STK all in the same area as we've seen in the past.
Na'Vi didn't fly too far, so they are only a little bit further northwest of STK. FaZe are going to take up their normal position over Monty, and this will allow Optic to come into their potential killing zone. Rogue, Lumbermill, as well as Knights around that power grid northern style area of the circle will also have that little bit of a battle. And let's be honest, no one's forced to come out of this, but people will be forced into it. Both Nova and Ghost will have that hard decision. Do they go the long south road on this trip and then come in through the south side of the circle, or do they try and make their way through Los Leones? I think I know the safer option there.
Yeah, no doubt. So now looking at Na'Vi, the overview shot here, we do see that they landed very safe, but have not begun their loot phase just yet. We keep cutting. Are you trying to send us a message? Is there?
Yeah. What exactly are we meant to be looking at here?
I think we're. Well, it's a plate glass window. There looks to be someone being blessed.
It's the church. Oh, STK.
Oh, the Ironside AK.
Yeah, that's...
You might as well throw it at him from that distance, but there's the church again. All right, so what are we supposed to break down here? Give us some more time. We don't know this.
I require a message from God to understand production.
So is Na'Vi the guy in the bottom there with the cloud?
The absence of chicken? Like, is that what we're looking at here?
Being accosted? Maybe this is STK trying to... I don't know. This is like we need that Langdon guy. What's the book? Da Vinci Code. That's what we need here. Some religious detective or something.
I only watched the movie, which is definitely not accurate, but has Tom Hanks, which makes it good in my book.
I like Tom Hanks. He's a wonderful man. So it looks like Wooly was looking to land some long shots, but missed the opportunity. Na'Vi has still not started their loot phase. So
you remember the Na'Vi story back on Arranger when we were here for the PGL tournament, and they're like, we really didn't have a lot of ammunition. We didn't have a lot, and then we realized that with Na'Vi's movements that they don't like, especially in this area, there's not that much to loot. They're not going to be really geared. Having FaZe above them, SDK who may push to the further west. Actually, they'll probably just hold Chewy, but Na'Vi don't have a lot of area to move unless they get all the way down to that southern town.
Yeah, that's
they may not have a lot to work with.
I don't know what they're going to do here. I mean, getting slowly started is a more of an issue of your Crimson, who is like again a million miles from the play zone. Just landed late.
It's fine. They'll run the circle for a while and then come in when the time is right.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's something that they're basically forced to do with the military base so far away. But there's just no real map pressure mounting just yet. There's nothing going to happen on the south. Will depend on what happens with the first circle. I think Optic has the hardest trek in, but again can come in on the edge depending on what FaZe does. They can spend all the time in the world. It's really going to be that northeastern side, which is going to be really really hot.
Yeah, that's where Envious is already making their way over the graveyard. So they're coming towards Picado. They will definitely want to take the hillside, however. Going into Picado is almost suicide. Na'Vi has left on the western front. We are on board with Kingwin as Vardy has already made it past Picado. And the rest of Kingwin Gaxi should be coming up behind pretty soon. But they're going to run into Ronin, and they're going to potentially find a little bit of a roamer of STK.
That's when you see her motorcycle is the only imminent danger to Na'Vi right now, as Shade in the lead vehicle.
They could be really lucky too. And, like, may not see the loot crate because I think it's down below the bridge line.
Yeah.
So they may not see that. Duck, does he want to have a bit of a spam? Larson gives him an opportunity for it, but no way to really follow through and properly connect. But maybe a little bit of a warning message to STK, who's moving over towards the church.
So they have the ability to do something with Kingwin here. Kingwin looking to have a bounce back. They did have a decent PGL tournament. I think they're a little bit out of that 5th place spot. But
he's connecting.
Oh, there. I was going to say that STK had the high side flank on the church, and they do land one down on Vard.
And while Cloud9 were trying to catch up the rest of them, Vardy actually gets ended too, so he'll be the first one out of our final round.
Duck there. Nothing to be seen yet from Moody. I think he's aware of his presence. He can now see the vehicle of the rest of Ronin coming past. He's just more interested in the fact that Duck is across the way. He did spot some movement there. Nothing to be done as Moody is by himself once again. C9 playing playing apart from each other. Not sure if that was just circumstance or what, but they are now receiving some more fire from the C9 team.
Yeah, they were in transit, and Ronan just moved a lot faster than them. Speaking of in transit, you actually lost one of the players from Knights, so they're already playing a player down. They are now down to 2 players. They ran into Lumbermill, who was coming in on the northeast circle. Nice shot, solid
Right in
FPS.
the mouth.
That level 2 helmet will keep him up, but it is definitely in pieces.
The SKS with the silencer on there already got it almost fully kitted out, so that's all good. Again, condolences to C9 on a tough tournament, but even to a team like the Knights, who actually had an excellent comeback considering how this is their first LAN, and they have a teammate get sick, unable to play, and still managed to win a couple of games, which is really impressive considering that they play both with a stand-in and only a 3.
Oh yeah, that's going to work. Elusive.
Here's Elusive.
That's a couple of shots in, down to 50%. He's just got a hay bale to hide behind. That will be good for him now, but he has no more transportation. Texas will take out both the front wheels.
I think Texas has been one of the standouts. I mean, I think back to the 1v3 versus Knights. But really, Ronan has been an interesting team as we see Texas now engaging with Moody. That they have talent, but just no ability to play. They're split right now. I don't know how this keeps happening to these teams.
Oh, solid FPS. Thought he had a chance to get out of here, but Texas, after finishing medding, has the pressure on. He's got 7 more first aids and Elusive. Oh, he was trying to make. Wait,
he's
wait,
so in the open that Texas doesn't realize it.
Yeah, he didn't realize he came that far, but he got knocked down by Envious. So Envious are also getting involved in this. So Ronan, C9, as well as Envious having almost a 3-way firefight over the Valley of Death.
I think Envy had a little bit more of an advantage. Caden standing perfectly still, allowing Texas to land a couple of shots, vaulting into the window, will escape. So now Envious has taken 2 downs. I believe they did finish Elusive. And now it's Coldamenta going down, and now is another kill for Envious on Ronan. So some nice action here for Envious.
Yeah, this is kind of bad news.
This is what happens with Ronan.
They're hurting
happens,
themselves so much. Ronan trying to do the rotation. They got in nicely, but they just couldn't hold their position.
They're in the zone.
Causing problems.
I don't understand how Ronan keeps getting split and killed like this, but regardless, not for me to judge, just for me to observe. And unfortunately for Ronan, they are now down another man as Solid FPS takes down Texas. And only 1 left standing for Ronan. They may be the first team eliminated here, and their tournament may be coming to an end very quickly as we see a double drop landing relatively close to each other.
Yeah, the game is adding fuel to the fire. It's only a little bit further away from this fight. In fact, it's closer towards the church. So, hey, praying towards that stained glass window seemed to pay off.
Can we go back to that? Is there a stained glass window shot stuff?
No. Hopefully they're watching something interesting now.
I can already feel the observer just like, all right, I believe.
It's like he just doesn't get it. It was a really, really funny joke.
Dude, that's a garbage crate.
M249 and a
Burt grip and a
M249.
I think the best item in that thing is there's a better one. Okay, I mean still pretty bad, but
that's the vehicle killers right there.
You could put those crates together and it would still be a medium in my opinion, but regardless, I think the backpack is the best item there.
You're so hard to please.
You know what? There's no good crate items except for the Groza, best crate item in the game.
Knights are in a lot of trouble running the open field. Kramer, this is put the hair down, hide in the crevice, and hope that Hypok doesn't get the hit on you.
You know, it's something super relevant, but if there's any analysts in the chat, I'd like to go back and see how many Mark 14s have been in crates over this tournament because I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah,
no, there was one because there was a discussion about one. I don't know if there was actually one.
Theoretical.
Yes.
So look at the center play zone. Very dense, and the Knights just still trying to avoid the withering fire of Optic. But it's been an interesting day for them. In and out of first place a couple of times, now being overtaken by multiple teams. I think they are sitting 3rd, if I recall correctly. But for Optic, 17 has some roommates here with Gaxi and Miracu.
Yeah, these are squatters inside this building, Miracu and Gaxi. What's our level? So Gaxi and Miracu, now we see it. So
both top.
17 has the bottom bunk, while Gaxi and Miracu are sharing closely the top bunk.
Well, they can hear him running around guaranteed, but I'm not sure if 17 is aware of their presence. He's got his gun away, so he can't be that concerned.
Yeah.
Looking around, seeing if he can find anything.
It's very few times when you actually keep your gun away.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's got the 2X here. I think he maybe hears a vehicle or some movement or getting some information from someone else, but that's
all right. That's a great pose.
That's a great pose.
That's a side squatting toilet right there.
Miracu and Gaxi laying in wait, one more fashionable than the other. And we see some more trades happening. So I think it's just the audio information that's keeping Optic focused elsewhere.
The circle has to move northeast to get Na'Vi into the action. That's exactly what happens. Well, not exactly. It's almost direct north center. But this will bring Na'Vi into FaZe. And I want to just keep a close eye on them because we still have 16 teams up. And it's who's going to come into that kill zone.
So Ghost is coming late as well. And they have a little bit more of a difficult transition as there are many teams piled up right on the edge of the play zone. Ronin, C9, FlyQuest, Shoot to Kill. Envious is there. Everyone is there. Everyone is just kind of battling with each other for position as we see Optic now 17 escaped. I mean, that was good for him. He could have gone in there and got murdered easily.
Yep. Instead, he gets out. He runs back to his teammates, and they try and take onto the compound, even though it's just going to be that 2 split. Bahawaka.
Nice.
Sitting there
Nailed
nicely
it.
with 17.
Good work. I like it.
Listen to feedback and adapt, boys and girls.
We don't adapt in this scene. That's not what we do here.
Sorry. Bahaka, thank you very much.
Oh, no, watch out. It might flip on you. We've seen that in the past. Duck dodging the rolling bus, but now Lumbermill a little bit close for comfort.
Normally, ducks fly together, but Duck appears to be by himself.
Yeah, I think Duck might be one of the... he's the last man standing for his team.
Ghost. They cannot afford to lose anybody. Balak taking considerable damage, going down to 15%. 25%. Other percentage.
So, Ghost needs to avoid casualties in the early game as best they can. Na'Vi still not quite ready to move. They're going to ride the circle in. They do have a bit of an edge on that western side of the play zone on the south.
Yeah.
So
the dream right now is with the top 3, like the FaZe wipe Na'Vi, and this gives them a chance to actually contest for that first position.
Very possible. I mean, FaZe, I don't think they're going to be able to see them if they come right at the very edge. But FaZe also playing a conservative split here. They're in the current play zone, no need to move.
Na'Vi are going so slow up the road. They've abandoned vehicles. It's on the ground. Do not draw attention to yourself.
Absolutely. No audio information, no getting caught in rotation. They can make it to the play zone. It might be problematic later. That's where I'm going to be concerned. But really, all they want to do is see that kill feed fill up with names that isn't fixed with
like
Na'Vi.
McCoy. That's exactly what they want to see. Frolic was the man to get it. As Ghost were being forced in, McCoy will be dropped, and that's the casualty that Ghost could not afford. They need to get further west. They're taking the vehicles onto the ravine, other side of the road of Frolica, and then up the other side. That's the way to go. Picardo completely empty. It's going to be one of the primary towns, but that's not what they want.
Profi's split from Balak and Turtle. So he is just trying to avoid where he knows Frolicker is, but he's driving that slow-going bus.
Is he driving directly down into Frolicker?
It looks like it.
Okay.
He's gonna jump out early. He knows exactly where Frolicker is.
He had a couple of shots at him, only connected on the rock, so Frolicker actually getting shot from multiple sides. So the rest of Ghost got to cross the road. So this barn is really not that safe for Frolicker because Ghost and Turtle as well as Balak, you can see on the other side in those buildings, they have a line of fire and grenade, pop them out, and finally this thorn in the Ghost side, it will be removed.
That
and
went off.
Frolicker.
Oh, there we go.
Boom.
I thought it fell out the window frame, but it did still fall in his favor.
Yep.
Froliker's tournament is now over, so that'll be him being eliminated. He's going to pick up the crate from both Frolicker and his down teammate McCoy. So Ghost going down 1, not the best way to get things started in this early game.
What
but
is this cluster?
Yeah,
FlyQuest, Nova, Shoot to Kill, Kingwin.
This was the issue for them. Solid FPS now waiting. Frolicker feeding him information on Profi, but there's nothing they can really do. Kingwin just getting the hell away from him, going actually back to Picado from whence they came.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play for extra position. So if this circle does crack northeast, the rest of Kingwin have at least an option in the form of Larson.
What is these crates? I mean, that's actually better than the 249 was, but there's no scope and there's a helmet, 1 box of ammo, and the gun itself.
You're still okay with this. FaZe will take anything they can get to try and catch up to this first position, especially as Na'Vi are coming up below them on the south. So they will have that opportunity sometime soon.
Did he take it? Did he take the M24? I'd like to see.
I'm fairly certain he took the M24.
I don't know. Yempty, I think, prefers ARs, but we can check back.
He'll carry it for someone and swap with him later.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to give up an M24.
Look at Nova and Fly.
Yeah, there it is.
Take it. Good for
M24.
Him. Good for you, Jempty. Good for you. So we see Nova. Oh, look, that circle has now come all the way south. Well, most of the way south anyway. Still
actually really
most of the teams. I mean,
so Na'Vi can actually take a position they've already held throughout this day, which is that northern front of Chewy.
Yeah. I really, I'm appreciating the conservative style of Na'Vi so far. There's now no need for vehicles. They didn't get a hard. If that circle had gone north, it would have been a little bit harder. But Speaking of vehicles, FaZe is in theirs.
They're
and,
moving quickly up behind
immediately. I
Knights.
think they're just going to stay up on this hill. There's no need for them to get anywhere else. You can see they stop right on the edge of the circle, so no need for them to go anywhere.
Yep.
Shoot to kill, and Kingwin actually, again, right on top of each other.
I'm waiting for Haxit just to. He's sort of looking south. It's like, do I see Na'Vi? Na'Vi are inside the building, so unlikely they'll get a bit of a glimpse. Crimson NLG. It looks like NLG starting to wrap around the western side. Crimson also doing the wrap. And they'll come in around the back of Rogue. So Rogue will hold that northwestern attack in. Kingwin able to chalk up one of Shoot to Kills. Adam will fall to Gaxi.
So another pickup there for Kingwin.
NLG is driving directly on top of FaZe. They're actually going to drive right on top of them. Up the hill and into FaZe. And yeah, here's your jump. Mixie looking to try and find that knock, as they do get one.
That rolling bicycle, a little bit of a concern, but here comes the smoke grenade. Outsider just trying to cover himself. He's getting pressure from the rear. Mixie is down. NLG did land one onto them, so now...
Actually, completely, it's not even just down, they ended him. Butts was able to...
They've got a flank on Fuzz.
Yeah, this is really, really bad for FaZe now, because they're going to be shot from multiple angles if they're not careful. I doubt Na'Vi's actually going to get involved, but they need to win this fight with NLG in order to keep their hopes alive in the competition.
So a lot of rolling hills. Mixie finished off, so Fuzzface just holding an angle on the low side flank, but NLG's got an interesting little spread here. They are going to go for this, though. They're going to go for it, yeah.
They're going to find a Fuzzface. He needs this first kill. Outsider looking for the target, and Fuzzface will get wrecked. Jempty was not looking up at the right time. Haxit can't help him, and that's a second one of FaZe completely down. And
backing off.
Yeah, they're getting out of here. Jempty actually gets in the car. They are driving and bailing.
NLG coming across and just not getting the initial trade. They weren't in position. He left them behind.
Uber driver cancels trip.
Oh my
God.
God.
is now stranded looking for another road, but he's got problems. Outsider right behind them in FaZe. I think they just said, Haxit, just play the best you possibly can here. Jempty will go for the positional.
Oh my God. This is the first time I think I've ever seen FaZe shaken in a tournament.
Yep.
I mean, I think they've had their confidence kind of shattered here as Jempty.
He drives right into Knights. FaZe are the first team eliminated. They were in second, but they will have no chance to compete for first as they will claim practically 0 points.
Wow. I mean, again, the first time we've seen FaZe have multiple bad games. I think it's probably going to be a chat about Miramar and all the nuances of that map because it's just not something they have a lot of experience with. But now they have... Ghost was only 3 points behind them, and I think that with only one kill, they could overtake them for second.
Looks like Landoon's going to be ticking out. FlyQ is there. Jazza hitting his own teammate. Not a great thing for him. As goodbye, Landoon. It was nice knowing you.
Wow. So now it's going to be all about Ghost. Can they make it happen? Na'Vi is in their sights.
Navi's actually not in a good position at this point because Crimson have wrapped all the way around the back of Chewy.
They're surrounded.
Yeah, they've got Nova on their east. They've got, well, a lot of teams that north a little bit further away, but there's Crimson coming up behind them, which can cause a lot of problems if Navi's not ready for it. And this still is a good chance for some of the teams. So Ghost, Lumbermill, Optic, they were all within striking distance of Na'Vi. And Na'Vi will be forced to come out of Chewy. In fact, all teams will be forced to come out of Chewy.
Yeah, they have a really tough road ahead of them. They're going to have to transition with Crimson behind them, FlyQuest on their right, Shoot to Kill in front of them. And even if they manage to get through some of those teams, there's still Optic and the Knights who are going to be coming in around that area. There's a valley there as well. Dealing with this area, they came in slow, but now they're going to have to deal with everyone around them. So Na'Vi has to have a good initial battle here, but really Ghost has to essentially win this game in order to potentially win this tournament.
Yeah, Balak, Turtle, as well as Profi, they're pretty well split across the map, and it's not just enough to win the game. You need to find kills to go along with it. Ghost only have one so far. There's such a large distance of points to try and reduce. It's about 120 points that Na'Vi had over FaZe who were already out. Everyone else has even harder task.
Nova's now come a little bit closer in the initial shots. Look at that nade, though.
Real nice into Crimson.
Did land true, but didn't get any knocks. Takes Pybus all the way down to nearly nothing. So now this is a very precarious spot for Na'Vi.
They got the choice. Now move forward to the frontal buildings. They want Crimson and Nova to have their own little battle between themselves. And not to mention FlyQ holding that southern position with Shoot to Kill. So it's going to be difficult for anyone to move forward here, but at least with the distraction that now comes from this battle between Nova as well as FlyQuest.
They're all looking west. They're all looking southwest. All these arrows are looking towards Na'Vi.
Navi's between 4 teams. If no Luke Gaming look to the south as well, Na'Vi are going to get so boned. But Optic now engage them. So NLG's attention should head to the east and potentially the north with Knights.
Still, the Crimson is coming behind them. There's going to be shots. There's going to be information coming out.
They have to leave that building.
FlyQuest will come over. I know they've already taken one off.
Here comes
Nova.
Crimson. Dranis able to actually knock down Pybus. So actually it was FlyQuest who got the hit on him. So Na'Vi not shooting out of the compound. Pybus will need more help, but the rest of Crimson are locked in the wall. That circle is coming. No one who is sitting in these compounds in front of us can stay where they are. The circle will force them out.
All right, so Na'Vi actually picking up the kill on Pybus. And now with FlyQuest taking damage from STK, this is giving Na'Vi a bit of a sliver to deal with the fact that Crimson is now having to retreat. So Na'Vi, having been in a very tough spot, now having a little bit of time and space to move. STK more concerned with FlyQuest than anybody else, and Crimson's now getting pressure. FlyQuest is doing a ton of favors for Na'Vi right now.
And Crimson just backing off, as you said. Yeah, from Na'Vi, this just gives them a great position. Remember, one kill can win it all. So they got one of them. So Na'Vi are already chalking up points. This continues to expand that lead as the circle continues to condense.
Crimson is getting picked apart.
The north side of the circle, HBs would be very happy to accept the status quo. NBS, as you said, picked apart.
And that's another down. It's the play zone doing the damage. Now Crimson is just basically finding themselves facing elimination with only Lockwood able to stay up.
And Molodoy is going to be really happy to find these picks. Like, this is just easy points if he can get them. But it looks like the play zone is going to actually claim them with the tick out. Does it claim both of them? Yes, it does. So no extra points. 2 denials from Crimson, but they are in a real trouble, as I believe they are down so many players. They've only got one left.
The circle is pressuring a lot of teams, and now the Knights are finding themselves getting a lot of shots taken from NLG up at the top of the west there.
420.
Yeah, 420, no doubt, no scopes. Now this relatively centered circle, Optic in a good spot, Envy in a good spot.
Now Na'Vi are actually being forced right into shoot to kills area, so there will be a contest for Na'Vi. Ghost, they've been hiding in those positions quite happily for a while because this Ronin and Kingwin player, both Duck as well as Larson, have been sitting so close to each other. Nothing more has come for it, but you see the compound control. STK versus Na'Vi. Does Na'Vi just hold and wait? Because they are technically in where they are, so yeah, they will hold and wait.
They're going to play. I imagine, like Na'Vi, one of the better actually one of the best team fighters as far as squads are concerned. But they have a spot in the play zone. They need a lot of bodies to hit the floor before they have to absolutely engage. Every player, every team that goes out is their victory becoming more and more secure. Ghost is staying active. They have now eliminated C9.
They can't get in, though. The problem is you've still got Envious gatekeeping the east in front.
Oh!
And now, well...
The peaks.
Molodoy, a little bit of trouble. Shade's coming over, looking for the pick-off. But SDK, they are not going to get involved in this. They do not want to fight Na'Vi directly. Not just yet.
Rogue getting tangled up with Optic, trading a little bit. The one down each side. Baja Waka is down. They do have no flank there. I think Baja Waka is just a little bit too extended from his team to be saved.
Yeah, they can't.
Here comes NLG again.
Oh, really? Is Na'Vi going to get properly sandwiched? They have to hold on. They're still okay. They made the top 12, so this is already some really good points with the kill.
STK just completely stifled the flank. Jansen is now going to have to try and res Outsider. Now Shade is looking out the window, wondering what's going on outside. They see the knocks, and they see more kills, already down to 11 teams. I'm thinking that Na'Vi has secured their victory here.
Yeah, it does feel that way, but we won't assume anything until the final tally. Ronin was brought out at the top, so this allows Ghost to try and come in a little bit faster. Look at Turtle running that road.
There's the nade. Nice
He's
bounce.
trying to get in. Does it actually get over? And
oh, actually doesn't do any damage.
Well,
so.
we open up a hole for NLG to move around. And Na'Vi know exactly where they're kind of locked in. As everyone tries to get into this circle, condensing quickly.
Balak's down and out. That's another down for Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Now they still have 2 live, and they even have a loot crate for them to pick up. So that's something for Ghost. Ghost, the last remaining top 3 team next to Na'Vi. They need to get as many points as possible. The only other team closer is Lumber Mill, and they've just taken a position in the northern part of the circle.
So now Rogue kind of trying to deal with Optic. Nothing they can really do just yet, being held outside the zone. Well, I mean, they're in the current play zone, but there's nothing they can really do as far as transitioning next is concerned.
They have to wait. They got Lumbermill on the east, and they got Optic to the south. So either way, it's a horrible crossfire then to escape. Na'Vi being pushed deeper inside of their small little warehouse. As here comes, NLG moved down the hill. So it's still just Na'Vi versus SDK, and the circle pushes so far northeast. They're going to be forced over the ridge and into a place where only, actually, your 4th position, Team Lumbermill, if they can clean up here, and if Na'Vi can get brought down by SDK, then we have a game on our hands.
No doubt. There is still some chances here. We've seen teams like Kingwin go off for 20-plus kills. That can be huge for any team. There's still lots of players, lots of frags left on the table. And now Optic is in a decent spot as well. But for now, Na'Vi still with 4 up. They're playing super conservative and is working for them now.
Yep. Just wait it out as long as possible. Finally, Drayden tries to make his way in through the northwest. But he will be brought down, so we're down to 10 as the play zone gets the kill onto that night's final player. No joy for him at all in this game.
So it looks like Na'Vi now taking some damage. Dranis goes down.
Is this the point for SDK? There's been a lot of knocks already onto Na'Vi, and SDK know they need to deal with this. They need to get rid of Na'Vi, hiding in the sides, and now maybe Ubar. No, he actually brought down Wooly. Pentalol in through the side. Shade's the last one up with
He's sticking the res.
Melody.
He stuck the res.
He actually got him too. Pentalol's going to go down. Na'Vi, they have to get out of here. They don't have a lot of life, and the circle is already adding the pressure.
Oh, no.
NLG's nearby, and Na'Vi are in hella trouble. Melody, what do? You can't get the res out this one. He's just trying to revive. There's 10 teams left alive.
He's
going
to
die outside the circle. We have ourselves a game potentially right now. He's just trying to survive as long as he possibly can.
FlyQuest also under pressure. Nova going at them. Molodoy just trying his best to save himself some time.
SDK went down, so they actually managed to get into the top 9 position here, Na'Vi.
He's medding his face off.
It's just, these points mean so much. Every single one, 8 teams left alive, and Na'Vi's still not out of it just yet. He's gaining so many points just by surviving outside the circle.
Oh, that's really, I mean, he grabbed as many bodies as he could now. NLG in trouble.
Just keep the meds going.
I think he's just going for it still. Yeah, he's timing it perfectly. He's doing it. So
I thought Mercy got nerfed.
Oh, he's going for more meds. I think he's just picking up as many as he can. Molodoy, I spoke too soon. Oh my God, so close.
I will survive.
Oh my God, Interrogate goes down as well. Molodoy is just cramming med kits.
Does he make the 7th team? That's the only question I have right now.
Oh my God.
Everything else is really important still.
Ghost is still in as well.
17.
There he goes.
There we go. So it's the 8th team that Na'Vi will claim. They'll have the points from that, but will it be enough? Let's focus on everything else.
Oh my
because
God.
a lot of this comes down now to the amount of kills that can be claimed. Lumbermill will be a huge victor as well as Ghost if they can do more, but when Profi lose 1, this is not the way to victory for them.
NLG eliminated now quickly down to 5 teams, and there are still Lumbermill, Optic, and Ghost still in. Now, I don't think either of these teams have enough frags to be able to catch them, but I mean, the fact that Polka Molodoy, he's got 2 kills, a Gilly, a 249, he's got all the great stuff.
That's nice for Turtle, yeah.
Optic's got the nice high ground position as well, but again, it's Lumbermill on the low ground. The nades coming out to see if they can do any damage. They can make it from there.
They're only in a defilade with a couple of vehicles. Lumbermill, they're going to take a lot of damage.
So many nades.
You know, I thought Red Zone was removed for competitive, but it appears Optic can just create one of their own.
If you get caught by nades, you're a bad player, right? Isn't that how it works, or is that something else?
That's definitely something else.
Fair enough. So Optic throwing the nades, but not landing any kills from that.
No, Lumbermill will survive. The issue they have is they have to move so far to the left that there is no more defilade. It runs out for them as they move to the eastern side of this road. Currently, it is actually Envious who have the defilade on the road, but they have the hill to worry about. But you're cresting so hard if you try and take that hill. Something takes a little bit of damage. This is Optic now going up against FlyQuest, and Optic are dealing with him. They're coming over the hill, and there it is. Something gets dropped.
Another kill
They're looking
for
the
Optic.
last one. Lost HD. He's that player from FlyQuest, the last one left kicking. And he's kicking hard.
So that is now Optic facing down the circle as well as Los HD, who could be the thorn in the side here.
They've got to come off the hill.
Yeah, Optic might. Oh, actually, 17's going to get.
Oh, that's mad. He got it off in
He was
time.
very close, and Los HD dies to the zone.
I think they still will die anyway. They have to come off this hill.
Ghost is
and
out.
Envious have to come out of the defilade, which is on the south side. So Optic will come into Envious's kill zone. But then you've still got Lumbermill on the other side. They are starting to wreck them apart. Optic will finally fall. We're down to 2 teams. Envious versus Lumbermill. One side of the road versus the other, with that little lying in wait where the smokes are flying.
It looks like Lumbermill could, oh my god, they could flank all the way around and get through the lines of Envious, who are on the reverse defilade, but they can see everybody moving around. The smokes are out.
There's that attack coming in from the east. Lumbermill, they know they're being attacked from so many different fronts. Can they do it? They still actually have just a little bit of defilade, but that smoke won't last much longer. They need this win if they're going to get in. Envious, they're a little bit out of reach of that #1 position, but Lumbermill need to wipe all of Envious off the face of this map to get the points, 9 kills plus the win to give them a chance for first.
So this is a huge moment for them. They're out of cover, the circle closing. We will see one more transition. It will go to Envious technically, but there's just nothing. There's nothing. There's a rock, and that's all they have. So the one smoke that they have out is going to start dissipating. Jesse LOL and check shooter
Gustav
on the top flank. So
no one wants to put their head up at all. And here's the move.
Oh!
Jesse, Gustav will get knocked. He's looking for another one.
headshot. Ooh.
Yep, he has the attack. Still the level 2, didn't connect, but now Envious, they
executing.
move in
They're
force,
executing.
and this will be the game. Envious will finish off the Lumbermill and make it #1 for him.
Wow.
And they may have actually just cost Lumbermill the title.
I mean, that was super close. That was an insane last game. FaZe going out super early. Na'Vi being sandwiched perpetually for the entire game, essentially, with 3 or 4 teams all the way around them. Pokamolodoy using the massive bodies around him to feed himself of meds, and still, I think
he gained 3 places by that play.
I mean, we've talked about this from the very beginning, medding in the blue and the strategy around it.
Yep.
It served him well. He held on for his team, and that was more than likely enough to put them over the top. But we will see very shortly. I mean, what an amazing tournament.
Yeah, while they collate the points, the panel gets to analyze everything that happened nice and quickly.
Need a cigarette.
Who do you feel has got the victory, boys?
No.
I think it probably is Na'Vi, but
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. And like you've just said, Toby, we need to tally it and get it verified. And guys,
Good luck.
that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
your
everybody.
work over the weekend. You guys made that final matchup even more exciting to watch and really illustrate to myself and everybody watching just how crazy and important different moments were going on there, like that Na'Vi being stuck in the building situation, and maybe being too passive for too long, but also probably knowing that they were flanked on almost all sides. Like there was so much going on. It was such an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely exciting ending to a tournament. I think that you nailed it. The whole Na'Vi situation, how they were stuck in the building, having STK there in the opposite building. Whether or not they were too passive, in hindsight, maybe they needed to make a move, yes, and then they could have given them an opportunity. But yeah, obviously then Poka being able to med himself to get 3 extra positions there in the end might have been the clinching factor here for them to be winning this tournament.
Indeed, and it was that moment where they all went down. It was that battle with STK, but Poka had a wealth of health still in the back pocket, and his dead teammates' back pockets. And he was just going through them, wrapping bandage after himself, injecting himself with medicine. And it kept him alive, like Toby said, for 3 extra places, pushing him from the brink of being over 10th place into 8th. That's game-changing.
It was what he needed to do. And I don't think they played it at all bad. They didn't need to make a move until that last moment. They didn't need to go aggressive. They knew that FaZe was dead. That was their the biggest competition in that point. But I'm not sure. There was 5 solo players left. So that made it 5 or 4 solo players left.
4, I think, yeah.
And when the blue starts to move. But of course, they moved foot on the whole time. If the circle would have came hard shifted to them at least once, they would have just, chilled the whole time. They basically, their only goal was to be on the circle in every single circle. Not take any, attention by starting to shoot people, making their names pop in the, screen, because there was a lot of people on their heads. So they played it as well as well. It was funny. He was healing there. It was funny, but it was worth it. How close it was that he managed to do it with those settings.
Good thing
And
he was slimmed up.
Guys,
Yeah.
I've just had word. I can confirm who has won it. And it is
Navi.
Na'Vi. That is correct. Congratulations to Natis Bin Sireh. They have shown from the start to the finish that they have what it takes across both maps. And we will now head over shortly to Kelly, who will be chatting to the players.
Gentlemen, congratulations on your win. You are the GLL Grand Finalists. Congratulations. How are you feeling right now?
No worries. No worries. Literally no worries. We are just excited, amazed, and so on.
Is this something just a few weeks ago, before you guys were sponsored, back when you guys were groovy, you could have imagined coming out on top of the 16 best teams in the world?
It's always our goal. We just aim to win no matter what, no matter how the games go. We just try to do as much as we can every game, no matter which place we have or something like that. We just do as much as we can every game.
I'm gonna take a moment to walk over here to Poca, because man, I gotta ask you, what exactly was going on there with those heels that allowed you to go from 10th place to 8th place, staying alive there? Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. So tell me about what was going through Poca and your communication as a team there.
I mean, Poca Maladoy is always the guy who makes calls, and he's like always shouting, screaming out. And we always react to his calls really fast, and that's what I like about him, because the calls are always very accurate. So he's the key point for us, the key player for us, obviously, and he's done a great job during this event, and I'm really proud of him.
As you should be, and you should all be proud of yourselves. Congratulations, and I would like to invite the head of GLL, Simon, here to give you guys your check. Everyone make some noise for Na'Vi. And gentlemen, why don't you grab your trophy? Congratulations once again, guys, and let's head back to our analysts one last time to see what they thought of that final game.
Congratulations to Na'Vi. Well deserved, and they got to lift that trophy at the end.
And Simon for having left hanging there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure he'll be able to take it. Just like Na'Vi have taken the trophy. And what were the factors that brought them to this position they're in now first?
No, we've been going on about them
the whole event.
How more consistently they've been the team that have been very precise with their decision making. They've been persistent. They've been aggressive enough. They've known when to push. They've known when to hold. And yeah, they've just been, I think, from a team play and from an individual aspect, they were definitely worthy of a trophy here.
I think the way Drainus has come off during interviews as well speaks volume for the way the team approached this game, and especially Kelly relaying back to us and everybody else saying that these guys seem super focused. Andy?
In Russia, the game plays you. Yes. They are focused to the one point. I haven't seen the guys, being anything else than as a team, and constantly focusing on the game and the goal that they're here for, basically. So
eating and breathing the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's one reason why
eating many chicken dinners. In fact, the biggest chicken dinner yet. $15,000 went to them. What must that feel like, Natu? You've experienced similar stuff.
Winning is everything, right? When you're a competitor, when you really do focus, just spending, anything upwards to 60, 70, who knows, even 70 hours a week easily, 140 hours in 2 weeks, 120, 30 hours. So that's where you're aiming for. But obviously then moving forward now, you've got that one, and then you want to move forward. You want to get more. The hunger doesn't stop with a one big chicken dinner.
Andy, the approach that Na'Vi have had here and the way that they've dealt both with Erangel and Miramar and the numerous sort of ways they've engaged in games, do you think other teams are now going to be doing more research and coming better prepared? Because you did say at one point that practice is, at the moment, still building as a concept in competitive PUBG.
Oh, 100%. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of teams who are going to try to be as confident as Navi, as confident as FaZe, as confident as Ghost, like the top teams who are actually taking the fights and pulling them off and getting those, you know, wins after wins.
Definitely. The scoreboard, the final leaderboard is also ready, and we should take a look at exactly where everything stands at the end of our 16th and final game. It's Na'Vi who break the 1,000 point mark, 46 to be exact, and Lumbermill coming close in second, less than 100 points between them with 952, and it's Ghost that take third after starting off really roughly yesterday and then finding their feet on Miramar today.
And also, as you can tell there, team kills 79 for Na'Vi. They're up there in their own league, basically. The closest one that I can see is 64 kills. There's Ghost Gaming and
69
and Crimson.
Team Kingwin, 69.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I was being blind, but still, that's 10 more than they did.
True.
So
Indeed.
They were the top of the crop when it comes to kills as well.
And it's interesting to see FaZe end up falling into 5th after having consistently been in that sort of top 3 area at times, and overall having great performances and being the hot tip favorites.
Indeed. I mean, big one for me, Lumbermill really making that.
Yeah, really needs to
Definitely.
get big hands.
And that's a story I think we should definitely talk about for a bit before we close out. The fact that these guys are still unsigned. Lumbermill isn't an organization, it's a name that these guys
Needs to be an organization, though.
came up with. And so surely at this point there's an organization out there that could be looking to make their dreams come true.
Lumbermill would make a great brand. Imagine the Lumbermill swag.
The Lumbermill swag.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I mean,
I'm sure he would wear it.
There are so
I
many,
would definitely wear it.
so many metaphors you can come up with it. You build a house with wood or whatever. You build wood is a material that builds stuff. That's not a very strong one, is it, Natu?
It's definitely not. not one of your best works. No, you've done better.
Good. Well, we can move on swiftly from that because Lothar is ready one final time to take us through some moments that he would like to highlight. What did you think of that final first off?
I'll never get a heads up right when I'm on camera. Anyway, I'm not going to take a lot of time from you guys because I'm sure that everyone wants to just go out and drink and celebrate. So I just wanted to point out, I think
this guy.
I think I just want to.
Thank you, Lothar. Appreciate it.
I just wanted to point out, I think a breaking point in the entire game because the storyline of that last one was FaZe versus Na'Vi. The battle for the first place, and FaZe got wrecked, absolutely destroyed by No Loot Gaming in this situation here, where No Loot Gaming was actually pretty aggressive towards FaZe, which is not something that you usually see, since FaZe is typically FaZe is on that end, and they are pressuring other teams and being very aggressive and oppressive, taking the pincer movement against their opponent and just finishing their opponents by pure pressure.
Lothar, was this at the point in the match where FaZe and Na'Vi were relatively close on the map, or was that before?
That was after.
Okay, cool.
That was after. But in general, they were still like not that far away from each other.
Yeah.
Of course, at the beginning of the game, that was like super close.
Yeah, it was nail biting.
I was really hoping for something. I was like, oh my god, will it happen? Or yeah. But anyway, let's take a look at this because this is actually interesting. The breaking points also in the map are here, where there's a dip in the terrain which allows players to hide and have, you know, just an advantage when they can peek out. And that's something that NLG actually took advantage of because 3 players, they were moving at the same time. You can start playing it, and you will see how each of those players, let's play the replay, here we go. They are moving at the same time. You see that? They're moving at the same time, and when they are in cover, all of them are in cover. When they're out of cover, all of them are out of cover. So they have the support fire of their own teammates, and that allows them to take fast FaZe when he's confused at who to shoot first, because he has like 3 targets at the same time. And that's a great move by NLG. And then we see where FaZe has to fall back. Hack City, oh my god, impossible to draw when it's camera moving. We see Yempty going away with the car, and I think that's a great move because they needed to fall back to have a chance at still being high ranked. But at the same time, I think Haxeti should have just prone and wait.
Natu, we said that exact same thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did. We said it feels like he's in almost sort of doomed situation here, right, Lothar, and that he should try and do as much as he can.
Yeah, and there's a chance that his opponents will just say, oh, they drove away.
Yes, exactly.
Plus he ran in the same direction where the car actually drove. So.
Yeah, exactly. So he knew exactly where his driver is going away, right? And if you just point yourself in a direction where your opponent exactly hears the car, well, you're dead. But if you would just stay here somewhere, you know, in this position here, because he had the chance of actually moving there and just staying put, be quiet, lying down, and wait for NLG to just go and try to scout out that leaving vehicle, who knows? I mean, that's a skilled player. Haxidi can pull it off and kill 3 people.
Yeah. Indeed, it's literally something that we mentioned. We kind of talked about the possibility that maybe he could have stayed still or looped back slightly, just done something surprising to at least catch one person off when it seemed like he had no other choice, right? Other than to just die. I
also want to point out that I think it was bad, basically. They were in bad positioning by FaZe. Not sure, a little bit hasty. FaZe was pretty, FaZe was pretty alone there at the ridge holding, and I don't think they expected to have full push on them. But at that point, when you're 3 guys, you want to stick together because basically you're strong as 3. Yeah. So that's basically, you could have still traded FaZe if you hear that there's one guy. They were running to, of course, they were running together over you, but only one guy peeked the hill first. And if there would have been 3 guys instead of just FaZe, it would have been, might have gone another way around.
Lothar?
Yeah, that's all for me. Now we can go all drink.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much. And also a huge shout out to the replay team that have been working with you guys to select these clips. The whole weatherman thing has been fantastic, and you've illustrated everything wonderfully. I'll see you in a bit. All right, everybody. Natu and Ansi, it's been awesome. And what do you guys have to say now that it's finished and we've crowned Na'Vi as the champions?
I had fun. My first time an analyst, and don't take it hard. If I say bad plays, by the way, just remember, because I've heard this somewhere. I saw a really funny clip when someone said bad play about another player. Someone took it offensive. Do not take that offensive. I'm just saying it could have been, you know, not particularly. What is another word?
It's Andy's first time as an analyst. He doesn't realize it's all about, you know, giving those strong decisions and
well, I did warn up, and
it's subjective. Don't worry about it.
The work here means that you kind of do have to point out mistakes you see. It's never personal. It's purely just your observation.
Yes.
And if someone takes that personally, it means they're childish.
Exactly.
You heard the chat.
It's true. It's true.
No, and Andy, I'd say it's been a pleasure working with you for the first time, and you did a fantastic job coming from your background as a streamer and a player. So thank you very much for being here. Natu, your final words?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun for sure. I mean, really, when I first step into the competitive PUBG properly here, watching all these games and getting introduced to the world of it, and we definitely got a good one here. It came down to the last game to really decide who wins the tournament. So what can I say? We got a good one here.
Definitely. It was also my first foray into competitive PUBG, and I must say there is so much promise in this game's future. And this tournament put on by GLL has been a barn burn. It was Na'Vi that came out on top, but it was really down to the wire until that 16th match. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, if you'd like to get involved in Season 2, there's $100,000 on the line for that one. All you need to do is head on over to play.gll.gg to sign up. A big thank you to all of you for supporting us and everybody that's put in work on the show. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Bazinga.